A man who truly understands his own value and the direction that his life is going in never feels the need to over-explain himself. There are going to be times in life where you're finding yourself in a position where maybe you feel like you need to answer to somebody. Maybe you're exploring a new venture and you're trying something new. It's something that you're passionate about, a new side hustle. And one of your friends is just not giving you that energy that you were expecting or hoping for. They're being quite negative with you. They are really sort of discouraging you with their words and with their comments about what it is that you are trying to do. And they're asking you questions on a deep level of like, why do you think you're capable of doing this? Why do you think this is the best idea? Have you not seen that this is going to fail? Loads of other people have failed. Do you not see that? And the mistake that a lot of guys will get into, and this doesn't just have to be from friends, but the mistake a lot of people will get into is feeling deep down the need to over-explain themselves, the need to justify what they are doing, to defend their plans, defend their aspirations and ambitions. And I believe it comes from a good place. I do. Because when we can substantiate our reasons for doing something internally and externally, if you're speaking to a rational person, you're going to feel better and you're going to feel more clarity about what it is that you are doing, and hopefully they will as well. But the mistake here is thinking that that matters. Thinking that you appeasing somebody else's lack of certainty about something that you are doing is something significant or something that you need to do. You don't. If somebody wants to sit there and doubt you and question your ability to do something, then let them. Let them do it. That's okay. One of the most freeing feelings as a man is when you don't really care what people think. Now, it's not to say you're a bad person and you have a disconnect with your close friends and family. No, you care, of course. But if somebody has an opinion, a negative opinion about something that you are doing, you're indifferent to it. You're almost living in a state of indifference. It's extremely freeing, because when you place significant weight on somebody else's thoughts about you, somebody else's perspectives about you, you do feel this almost childish energy to want to please that person, or at least not want to upset that person. And look, there's an element of normality in this when you're thinking about your parents. We all want to please our parents. We all want to honor our parents. And maybe if you're in a relationship, your wife or your partner, right? There's an element that you want to make them happy, or at least not make them miserable or angry. And look, what I would say, the only caveat I'm going to make in this video is around the fact that possibly some people might take this argument when they are doing things that are wrong, when they're doing things that are immoral. And that's not the avenue that I'm looking to go down here. What I'm trying to get across is that if you are doing something that is moral, you're not breaking the law, you're not doing anything unethical, and people are trying to sort of cross-section you and psychoanalyze you and really get you to explain yourself about what it is you are doing, you don't have to. Drop the necessity to appease everybody and focus on just doing what it is that you want to do. You're not hurting anybody. You're not committing a crime. You're doing something you're passionate about. And look, I think it goes without saying, it's got to be something well thought through. If you are maybe taking a risk and you're doing something like, for example, a new side hustle, you've saved up 6 months of savings from your job, you've decided, you know what, now I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to jump into this, and I'm going to give it a really good shot for 6 months or so, at a minimum, right? We don't go into things with an end goal or a date that we're going to finish, but you've got enough money to sustain yourself for 6 months, and if it doesn't work, then you can switch back over. Where it's difficult is that if you are living with dependence and making a decision like that, maybe there's an element that you have to explain yourself. Maybe there's an element that you have to sort of show the blueprints as such. It's like when you buy a home, especially in the UK, and you want to make any adaptations, or you got adaptations rather, you want to make any changes to the home, you have to submit planning permission so that the local council can see exactly what it is that you are trying to do and subsequently approve it. You know, if they think it's something that's not going to work, if they think it's something that's bad for the ground, if they think it's something bad for the environment or the local area, they won't approve it. But there may be an element that if you have dependence, or your actions may directly affect somebody else, that you need to show the blueprints, you need to show the receipts, you need to show the research about what it is that you are doing. But if we're talking about something different, and if you're a guy, maybe a young guy who's looking to build something, and you don't have those dependents, and you've got people that are questioning you, you've got people that are trying to cross-section you and understand, why are you doing this? Don't you think it's going to fail, etc., etc., etc. Let them think what they want. Let them think what they want, and you crack on. Often it's somebody else's doubt about themselves and their ability to do what it is that you're trying to do that makes them want to project that onto you. Their internal dialogue says, I couldn't do what he's doing. I couldn't do it. He can't do it. If I can't do it, he can't do it. I've got to tell him. I've got to share it. And, you know, it's possible that these people don't mean harm. I don't believe that everybody has these sinister intentions. I believe, of course, some people do. But I believe that 9 times out of 10 it comes from a place of care. But they express it in such a terrible way. It's your job when you find yourself in these scenarios, as I've said, to look, be polite, be respectful, but keep things short and sweet. Don't over-explain yourself. Why are you doing that? It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm really looking forward to get started. Don't you think it's a risk? You say, I've calculated the risks, and I am very confident in my ability to go forward and take it on. Now, if it's close friends, you don't need to sound so formal. But the gist of what I'm trying to say is, be smooth, but be sharp. Say it how it is. Don't over-explain. Don't be finding yourself justifying your existence, justifying why you're the man to do this particular thing. No, because you start to get inside your own head at that point. When external doubt starts coming towards you, it starts to affect your own internal dialogue. And you can't afford that, not at the early days. Not when you're trying to start, not when you're trying to begin a new venture, begin a new chapter. No, you haven't got time for that, you haven't got space for that. So that's why it's very important, you need to be sharp with these people. Be respectful, but say it how it is. It's something that I want to do. It's something that I'm going to do. You can support me or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. Sometimes you need to say that. And there are friends that you'll have that won't realize they're overstepping the boundaries. They won't realize that they are overstepping the mark, and they'll actually appreciate that frankness from you. They'll actually appreciate you saying, you know what, this is what I want to do. You're either with me or you're not. And they'll maybe switch on to that. So you're doing yourself a favor by protecting your own mental space, but you're actually doing them a favor as well by letting them know, hey man, this is how it is. And sometimes our friends need a little reminder of that. Sometimes even family as well. But please don't fall into the trap of talking too much, of justifying your existence. It doesn't seem very strong. It's coming from a position of weakness. You're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to put people's nerves and concerns at ease. But ultimately, you're never going to win. When you sit there and you over-explain yourself and you justify all your decisions, It's like you're a child trying really, really hard not to disappoint his mummy. And you're not, you're a grown man. You're a grown man, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not doing anything unethical or harming those people around you, as I mentioned, maybe you have dependents, you've got to be sensible about decisions that you make that affect them. But if you're not doing any of that, and you're just doing something or starting something that you're passionate about, you don't need to over-explain yourself. You're a grown man. You need to do what it is that you want to do, because if you live your entire life worrying about what other people might think, over-explaining yourself for the decisions that you make, you're going to make it 10 times harder to have the impact that you want to have. You're going to make it 10 times harder to get things done. And very possibly, if you live a life like that, you're going to have a lot of unticked boxes of all the things that you wanted to do. A long list of regrets. A bucket list that you can't tick everything off. So break that habit. Stop over-explaining. Be polite, be respectful, but be firm, be strong. Say you are with me or not. I'm going to do this. I'd appreciate your support, but this is what I'm going to do. And then you align those words with concrete action, and you allow your work and your action and your results to do the talking for you. That is what will convince people more than anything. Results. Something that people can see. You know, if you're starting social media, don't just talk about making videos. Don't just talk about your plans and aspirations. Put the content out there. Over a long enough period of time, people are going to look at it and go, well, isn't he consistent? If you're looking at starting a marketing agency, get going. Start reaching out to local businesses. Start offering your services. Don't talk about it. Don't tell people this is what you're going to do. Just start. The same as drop shipping and all of these different things. Don't over-explain. Don't over-justify your existence. You're a man. Be a man. Stand on your own business. Don't let people get you in this mindset whereby you feel like you need to explain yourself. Explain your existence like a little boy. No. No more of that. Be respectful. Be polite. But be firm. You're either with me or you're not. Anyway, guys, if you took some value from this video today, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and consider subscribing to my channel for much more from me. As always, thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.